Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another C&Cc meets. We have Chop Chop, Demarcus Corley. How are you, my friend?
I can't complain. I'm great, man. Enjoying this beautiful weather in Las Vegas. Getting ready for my upcoming fight in 2 weeks.
Big, big, and
Nice.
you're still doing the thing. I mean, we were talking before, like the list of people that you've been in with and are just given nightmares to. It's just like I was at Ali Pali when you fought Junior Witter, and like it just you just shut down one of the trickiest people out there. You know, decision aside, that was always going to be some home cooking, wasn't it? Like he's not even from London, but that was always going to be like
The Judah fight as well. That was close
Judah.
as hell. Oh my god! Like that knocked that. I saw a thing with you say that too, but that was close. Even with the knock, that was fucking. Oh,
Yeah. You get used to it. You deal with it and keep moving.
Yeah. So I mean, you have an illustrious amateur background. You're a former world champion. Your list of straps is ridiculous. Like I run out of space on the page. You know, like you've fought all over the world. The people that you've fought. So let me just list them out from the top of my head. Floyd Mayweather Jr. hurt him bad. Miguel Cotto made him do the crazy dance. Zab Judah, Ruslan Provodnikov,
oh,
Maidana, Lucas Mattysse, Devon Alexander, Junior
Randal
Witter,
Bailey.
Randal Bailey, Vivian Harris,
Randal Bailey twice.
Randal Bailey
Bailey
twice, and Vivian twice.
Yeah,
Like,
Vivian twice.
mate, respect. As we're not going to really like go down any sort of structure because I'm just buzzing to have a conversation with the champ. The Cotto fight, okay? Fact. Most hurt I saw him at 140. Most hurt I've seen him in a long time. And every now and again you see one of those stoppages when you're like, oh, that ref potentially got a new car out of this. Right?
I'm pretty sure he got a check out of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think they should have investigated that one. What was that like? Because that version of Koto was like, you know, I don't think I've ever seen him make a facial expression other than like the wink and the thumbs up. Like, I mean, I know you're like the consummate professional, but what was that like fighting him? Because there's going to be a lot of these questions, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a great fight being in his country in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
We knew the game plan was to take him in the later rounds, even though I hurt him early in the fight.
Yep.
He was still strong.
Yep. We were
And
17
that's when
pounds
the person
heavier.
is most dangerous.
Yeah.
That's when he's most dangerous, when he's hurt. So we knew just to be patient and set up a shot again in the later round, we were going to get him.
Yep. Yep. And then they basically took it away, didn't they? They took it away. I think it would be rude just to not brush over it. Do you really fancy going into bare knuckle FC?
Do I really what?
Do you really want that? Do you like? Are you like, I want that new challenge, bare knuckle?
Oh man. I laugh, and it's so exciting to know that there's another chance of me coming world champion
Mm-hmm.
in another branch of boxing besides professional boxing.
Yeah.
This is bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah.
And growing up as a kid, we used to fight each other every day
Mm-hmm.
with the knuckles. So it's nothing new to me. I've been doing this all my life.
Right. It's just such a. I mean, because we've had an undefeated British bare knuckle champ on. We're about to have someone that's gonna be challenging for the title at what weight was it he was doing?
I don't know if they've agreed on that weight yet.
Yeah.
That was the sticking point.
So you know, to be fair, like we've had quite a lot of exposure to BKFC and BKB. Like it's a different sport for a start, but you know, like the skills that you have should lend themselves very well as, you know, your very sharp, very unorthodox power shots that you've let, like you seem to crack people with big shots when not only are they not even expecting it, but it looks like you can't even get leverage from that angle. And then
the angle is just incredible. Some of them KOs are fuck.
It's the experience and the knowledge that I gained from working with other fighters, Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mark Two-Shop Johnson, Sean Bay Mitchell. I spot a lot of great champions over the years coming up as a fighter, and I learned a lot from them.
Mm-hmm.
And the key is to be patient when you're in there.
Okay. I'm with that. The only thing that I would say is like every time I've seen bare knuckle FC, it's like a near sprint, right? So you would have to be like a matador.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be the matador for this one. I think I'm coming straight forward and apply pressure, and I'm going to make an opening quick.
Love that. Who is probably who was your toughest fight that you would say of your career?
Lucas Mattysse, the machine.
The machine, yeah. She's just relentless. He's rough. He's tough. Hits pretty hard too, right?
Yeah. I say Enil Julio, my first 12-round fight for the USBA title.
Yeah.
He was the hardest puncher.
Really?
Because I was feeling his punches throughout the whole fight. The later rounds, I was feeling his knuckles through the gloves.
Oh. Do you think they did something to the glove, or?
It was the gloves that were made back in the 90s and the 80s. They don't make them no more.
Yeah.
They were using horsehair inside the Reyes glove.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So before foam, I see. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're completely ready for bare knuckle, basically. You're completely ready for that. How did you? Because we ask everyone that is very good enough to give us their time that's in the fight game. How did you get into boxing? Like, what's your story about how you went to your first boxing gym, you went amateur, then you went pro? It's like, run us through the journey.
After you get out of school, you have a place to go to have fun and relax, and it was called the Recreation Center.
Okay.
I would go down to the rec, and they would have playtime in the rec and in the gym. But at 7 o'clock at night, boxing would start.
Right.
And one day it was 7 o'clock, and they had the gym doors closed because they didn't have a boxing ring. They practiced on the basketball court floor. And I looked in there, and they was in there exercising. Some guys were shadow boxing. Some of the kids were over there sparring in the corner. And I was just looking, and the coach said, you going to come in or close the door? I closed the door.
Boom.
I didn't go in.
Yeah.
It didn't interest me like that. And then he came out a few minutes later, and he said, "You interested in boxing?" I said, "No." He said, "Why?" I said, "For what? What do you get?"
Yeah.
He said, "Boxing is a sport." I said, "Well, I know how to fight." He said, "But boxing is a sport, and in a sport, you get a trophy or a medal, and you get to travel." So he took me in the office, and he showed me all these boxing trophies. He said, "Some of these trophies are the fighters in the gym." I said, "Why don't take them home?" He said, "They have so many. They just leave them at the gym in the trophy case."
Nice.
That put off a light bulb in my head. That was my goal right there. I wanted to win trophies.
Yeah. Okay. So then how long did you train before you had your first bout?
I trained for about 7 months. In the process of me training, I have asthma. I was born with asthma.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked my mother, "Can I box?" And she told me no. And I begged her, and I kept asking her. She was like, "Look, boy, you're not boxing. You mess around and get hit in your chest, you may have an asthma attack." So the time me asking her and she keeps saying no, every day I'm going down to the rec center practicing. And then as me leading up to 3-4 months later, my trainer had told me, said, when you go home, you still got to practice. Just because you come to the gym and practice, you got to practice at home also. So he told me things to do when I was at home. He said, go in the bathroom and close the door. So that's where I got caught at, in the bathroom with the door closed. I was in there practicing, shadow boxing and throwing punches in the mirror and slipping.
See, but with the heavy breathing and the grunting, she thought you were doing something else for sure.
I was too young to think about that kind of stuff. and she knocked on the door, and I had it locked. And she said, open this door, boy. And my nickname was Duck before they called me Chop Chop. My name was Duck. And she said, what you in there doing? I opened the door, and she said, what you doing? I said, I'm practicing. She said, practicing what? I said, I'm shadow boxing. She said, what you doing shadow boxing? I said, I want to box. She like, but I told you got to ask me, you can't box. I said, Mom, I can do it. So I kept begging her. She said, okay, you had one fight. You lose, you're not boxing no more.
That's good motivation.
It was a Junior Olympics. It was a Junior Olympics in 1986. I won. I brought my trophy home. And she said, Duck, you won. You must be good. And she said, you can box.
Yes.
And then from there, it was just off to the races.
It was off to traveling, going out of town at free. That was the most important thing to me. You win, you get to travel. Because growing up in poverty, your parents not able to take you out of town, get you in a hotel room. Man, it was an amazing amateur career.
You grew up in DC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, DC was quite rough in the 80s as well.
Yeah, I took two. I got two up in me. Well, I had them. They out now.
Oh, God. Jesus. How did that? Okay. Moving swiftly on. Yeah. All right. So what were you, 101 and 17 as an amateur?
119 with 100 wins, 19 losses. Yep.
Boom. Did you go to Olympic trials or?
I lost to Fernando Vargas in the Olympic festival. In the festival, yeah.
95 or something, wasn't it?
95.
Okay. So what point did you say I'm going pro and then I'm gonna do this?
I got serious after 1992 when Barcelona came around.
Okay.
I lost to the guy from Fort Bragg named Junior. It wasn't Witter. It was Junior. Julius Jones.
Oh yeah.
Fort Bragg. I lost to him in the championship.
Yeah.
And in the Eastern trials, and they were like, if you'd have won, you'd have went to the Olympics for Barcelona. Oh. I started crying because I was one fight away from going to Barcelona in 92. But no one told me, look, just the championship, you win, you make the team, you go to the Olympics. It was just win, chop, you got to fight, win.
Jesus.
So after I lost, I didn't fight 1993, 94. I took off. I stopped boxing. I just wanted to be a kid and ride bikes and have fun.
Fair.
I came back 1995. I had 36 fights that year.
Jesus.
I won the Junior Olympics as a novice champion, and then I won the National Golden Gloves in 1995, and that made me qualify for the elite team in Colorado.
Oh, boom.
And that's why I fought Fernando Vargas in the festival.
Yep.
And then 96 came around. I lost to Chantel Stanciel from Al Mitchell's camp, Northern Michigan. And then after that, I said I'm turning pro because I knew it was politics then.
Yeah, exactly. Politics-wise, how much has, because you've had some massive fights, you've had some massive names. How much is like the politics? I mean, because there must have been an abundance of championship fighters that you were in contention for, that they're just like, why would I fight a damaging, crafty, slick southpaw who can really make me look awful? Like, is that something that came up often?
It's up now because of my experience and the credibility that I have created over the years. I get that a lot now.
Okay.
And still competing at 140, 135 pounds after 2 decades.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, we'll bypass this one and just go to the next one where it ain't that much damage and trouble.
Because there were so many of them fights, like Shamba, Hatton, Zoo, like all those ones that like you think that were just about to happen, and then
I wanted the Ricky Hatton fight, the Shambe Mitchell fight. Me and Zab, we got our chance to settle the score. I wanted Shane Mosley.
Yeah, that would have been a great one too.
But he skipped 140 and went to 47.
Yeah. You fought Zab in the amateurs as well, didn't you?
No, he lost in the Golden Gloves. He lost.
That's right.
We were supposed to fight each other. That's what everybody was looking at.
That's right. That's right. I remember there was something
about 2 split southpaws. And Hector Camacho was also there.
Oh, shit.
Really?
He lost. Camacho Jr., another southpaw.
Jesus. Are you and Zab cool now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He's a changed man now, and he's chilled. He's chilled out vastly. During the training camp for when you fought Floyd, I heard somewhere that you spent 6 weeks with Costa Zoo. Is that true?
Before the camp with Floyd Mayweather, I was in camp with Costa Zoo, getting Costa Zoo ready for the Shambe Mitchell fight.
Oh, what was that like? Like, Streets he's Australian for a start, so that means that Costa is like a god for him. So
it was amazing going to Australia, working with him, seeing how he trained, how focused he is. He's like a Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Put it like that.
Yeah.
He's straight focused, constantly working on his craft, becoming a better fighter. That's how he was.
Okay. What was the power like? Because I remember watching him in the build up to when he fought Hatton, and like the shadow boxing in the back of the stage, like as he turned the shots over just loosely, they were like whoosh, whoosh. He just like
He tries to get all that snap at the end of that punch.
Yeah.
His son,
he works really hard.
His son fought recently, looked really good against Horn. Great fight. Like, it's weird because I know they don't have the closest relationship, but he fights a lot like his dad. It was great to see.
It's in the DNA.
That's it. Your son, you fought on the same card as your son as well, no?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's so cool.
Okay, so you made it WBO super lightweight champ, right? How, like, after all of those years, after all of the trials and tribulations that you had, what was it like to finally have the strap, like just to be like, I am the best in the world?
I never consider myself the best in the world. I got that one 2 years after I won the first one. It was 1999 USBA and then 2001 WBO.
Yeah.
I took that fight on a 5-day notice. That's why it means so much to me.
Wow. I mean, but you stay in shape. Like, you're 46 now. You still look like you got a full.
Look at the stadium. Yeah, oh my god.
Pack, laying by the pool, just sunning, remaining Vegas ready.
Everybody's interested in seeing how I'm going to do in 2 weeks in this bare knuckle.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
I'm excited.
We're looking forward to it. How have you, without giving any secrets away, have you changed anything up for training, or?
Just banging my hands up. I'm punching this Muay Thai funny board. It's a board in the gym. We got 2 of them. I'm punching the board. My hands are.
The Kung Fu board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, they're gonna do some damage. Shit.
Ooh. Okay. Have you have you had like the practice of what they do with the wrap? Because they
No, I heard about it last week, but I'm supposed to try some this week.
Good call. Good call, because they put like a koozie on the top of it that we found out very recently. Like a weird foam thing that goes on top. It's really odd.
As long as they don't cover this up, as long as they leave this open, I'm okay.
2 fingers from the knuckle apparently is the rule.
Yep.
I mean, how
let them hammers breathe.
Oh, I mean, how out of 10 are you like running at 11, hyped for new challenge, new domination, new like it's a spectacle. They put on a great show. They put on. I mean, the only you know that how do you train for the circular ring, like all of that stuff? Are you just taking it as? I mean, you've done this 100, 200 times, right?
I'm not even worried about the ring that they have. It's called bare knuckle fighting, meaning they don't want to see you boxing, moving, running. They want to see that's it. And that's what I want to give them.
I think you will.
Either Travis can knock me out or he's going to get knocked out.
Let's hope for the latter. Let's hope for that. Chop chop.
And we already got a new name. This is the new logo. It say 2L. That's all it's going. 2.
That's all it is. How did you get the name Chop Chop?
From eating a lot. I like to eat.
No, you don't. Really? Well,
you're so just goes to the abs.
Yeah, you're so shredded. I like to eat. I'm not shredded.
You don't work out a lot.
I try. I was about to say I've got 2 small kids, but you've got like 14, so I'm gonna use that as an excuse.
Yeah, I'll be doing some road work about 2:00 tonight in the morning. I'll be running.
Nice.
Question: are you going to be making your shorts for the bare knuckle fight?
It's already designed. They done.
Oh, already done. Nice.
Boom.
It's a nice, pretty color for the ladies. We call it watermelon.
Yes.
And, I got a new design shoe that I'm coming out with, so I can't wait.
Try not to make it like the battery packs and stuff, because that didn't help Deontay. So make sure that didn't get you. So I'm going to ask a series of probably very aggravating questions for you about your glove career. What was it like being in there with Floyd? Because you became a Floyd sparring partner afterwards. Like, you became like almost the staple of the team after, no?
Only when he fought a southpaw.
Okay. I mean, so what was that like? I mean, he seems like he's a character, but he seems like a kind of cool guy that just tries to hide it.
He's a very down-to-earth, humble fighter.
Yep.
But when it's time to turn the lights on, he turn them on.
Fine.
But from the time he get up in the afternoon to go to the gym, he only knows one thing, and it's work time. That's it.
Yeah.
And once he finishes gym and go back home, work time lights go off and party time lights come on.
Respect. What I mean, the fight itself, to be fair, that was Floyd's first at 140, and that 140 Floyd probably is the most dangerous, right? Because he was offensive, a defensive genius that he is, the virtuoso, and he was basically the most aggressive version of the final form of Floyd. And you gave him fits and starts.
What a lot of people don't know, he's the A-side fighter. He's the master. He makes sure he dictates everything.
Yep.
What kind of gloves did I have on?
Oh, winning.
Why you think that?
He chose him, huh?
Yeah.
He chose that.
Yeah.
He knew what I was going to do with the Warriors gloves.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'd have been done.
That extra little bit when you caught him, that probably would have changed the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, wow. Talk to us about Provodnikov, because Provodnikov is terrifying. He haunts my dreams. Sometimes I wake up and I just go like, Ruslan, because he's just a terrifying dude.
It's amazing what the American trainers can do to a European fighter. Before Mikey Garcia started training him, he wasn't nothing.
Okay.
I beat him. I won that fight over there in Russia.
Yeah.
They didn't give it to me.
Of course. But of course. They're never going to.
When Mikey started working with him, he made him a better fighter. He made Marcos Maidana a better fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to show the U.S. style of boxing is different from the European style because they got to adjust and adapt. And it's hard for a European fighter to beat an American fighter unless you're being trained by an American fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's changed a little bit in the UK now because we've had such an influx. Yeah. There's a much bigger pool of slick fighters now, but like the pre-Lomachenko Ukrainian invasion, that's completely right. They're very stand-up, very, mechanical, Klitschko-esque.
Right.
Yeah. Who?
Lomachenko's on a planet of his own.
Yeah. So is Usyk, I think. So is Usyk. Like they're both just in a different world. Like we had Russ Amber on. And he was basically saying like the things that he's seen in their camp is just like in his 40 years of being a cornerman and a trainer and just in the boxing industry, he said he's never seen anything like it before.
One thing I can say, he will go down in history as a young fighter and one of the greatest.
I mean, he has to.
He's still a I would say a baby because he's not old yet.
No.
Yeah,
no,
that's the
30s.
scary thing to think about. That with more experience to come is exciting times, man.
Run us through the BKFC. Did you reach out to them, or did they reach out to you and say we need some chop?
I reached out to them when I found out that Corley was about to do it 2 years ago.
Didn't Randal Bailey do it too?
I don't know if he heavy.
I'm wondering. I think he might have done. No, Randall Holt. Kendall Holt.
Randall
my
Holt.
bad. Yeah. Holt did it. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I reached out to them 2 years ago, and we had a contract signed. I supposed to fought last year, September.
Yep.
And they couldn't. David said we can't get nobody to fight you. We signed a contract. Fight didn't come through, so I reposted the contract this year.
Why not?
And then when I found out that they had a trial going on, I made sure I was there.
Yeah, for sure. What
just
was the
to let
trial
them know I'm serious.
Yes.
It was great. I got a chance to shadow box and hit the bag and show them what I was bringing to the table, which they already know I'm a straightforward fighter. Yep. I don't do too much backing up.
No.
I'm very slick. And I hit the bag for them, and then we did an interview.
Okay, big. Your style. Where did that come from? Where did you pick that up? Because you are incredibly slick, but also offensive and aggressive, and a little bit swaggy. Like the amount of times I've seen you just deflect with the shoulder, but then have a little walk and a disdainful look at someone is spectacular. Love it.
First, I gotta say, boxing is an art.
Fact.
And if fighters do the history and the study of the great fighters, Sugar Ray Robinson, #1.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I study him. I look at Jack Johnson, another great fighter, all-time best. The way they hit fighters, knock them out, backing up.
Mm-hmm.
They throw shots. I'm like, I wouldn't get hit with that shot in my era, but the development of the gloves, the way these fighters was punching back then.
Yep.
compared to the way fighters are punching now. The fighters of the era of 2020 cannot stand the fighters that's back then.
It's a very different affair.
I mimic my style off of Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Robinson, the way he danced and jump rope.
Yep.
And I'm working on tap dancing now. Even though I'm about to retire, I still want to learn how to tap dance because it's all about rhythm and timing.
Yeah.
And it's a performance when you're in that ring.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Marvelous One was a bit of an influence as well, wasn't he, for you? Marvin Hagler?
Yes, he was. He gave me the dog. Pernell Whitaker gave me the slickness. Hagler was just, I'm coming. If I know I can hurt you, I'm coming. So that was me right there with the Hagler. Then the Pernell, I want to be slick. I want to entertain the crowd. I want to do a little showboating. That was the Pernell. And then Hector Camacho, oh man, senior, that was the wardrobe.
Oh shit!
He was the first fighter I ever seen entertain the way he did.
Really?
And I said, God, he entertaining. I want to dress like that when I start fighting. And sure enough,
he
was the first fighter I seen wearing skirts.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like the gladiator shorts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of all the amazing lists you had, is there any one that got away? Was there one like dream match that like, shit, I wish that one happened?
Happen again or happen?
Happen. Like someone that you didn't fight and happened again.
It happen again.
I would have wanted to fight Cross the Zoo.
Yeah.
Great fight.
Yeah, great fight.
He had problems with southpaws that can punch.
Yep.
And the one I would love to have happen again would be a bare knuckle fight. Not in a boxing ring. I want to do it with bare knuckles this time. I would like to fight Floyd.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Bare knuckle Floyd. I mean, that. I mean, that's respect. Respect.
He's pretty boy. He's pretty boy, but he wouldn't be pretty after I get finished with that face.
BKFC is going to have to get out a loan to afford that one for the pair of you, aren't they? They have to get the Magic Amex out.
Yeah, they will need 500 million.
Plus pay-per-view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what day to day? I know you're in camp at the minute, but in between, have you taken on young fighters? Are you giving back the knowledge? Are you doing the Abbot of the Temple kind of vibe?
Now, every time I'm in the gym, I'm there to help someone if they need help and learning. I have no problem with that. I'm a teacher at the end of the day. I was a student, so it's time for me to give back anyway.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Would you ever consider going when you finally do retire, when you've decided that I've done everything I need to do now, would you become a trainer?
I'm definitely going to become a trainer.
Boom.
I have a little chop shop. He's 8 years old. He's training. He's able to fight now that he's old enough.
Yeah.
And once everything opens back up, hopefully next year, he'll have his first fight at 9 years old because he'll be 9 by then.
Wow.
We look out for him. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Is it not stressful for you to see your kids doing what dad has had to do to put food on the table?
It's not stressful, but it's hard. And I hope they understand what I had to go through to make this life good for them.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, like you seem to be doing well. You know, Vegas is a cool place to live. Listen, there's no rain. Very rarely does it drop below about 200 degrees. It's very warm. It's got amazing infrastructure for what you want to do. Like, there's no better place for you. What's it been like with COVID? Is it bizarre?
Oh, this is one of the reasons why I really reached out to Dave Selman for the bare knuckle
Yeah.
because this pandemic and what everyone is going through, it's a lot of stress.
Yep.
And this is my way of relieving my stress. If you can get me in there and let me fight, I can take my frustration out on whoever it is. Nothing personal, nothing against whoever it is, but
it's got to come out.
I got a lot of shit built up inside me because of this damn COVID. It messed up a lot.
Yeah, for everyone.
So I'm going to take my frustration out on Travis in 2 rounds and get it over with.
Let that monster out. Yeah.
Have you been absolutely abusing sparring partners just because you're angry at the minute?
No.
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 That's too much. No.
I've been abusing the top board, the wooden board, the punching board. I've really abused that.
Nice. You've never had hand trouble really anyway, have you?
Never. No. I thank God on that one. No hand trouble, no shoulder injuries.
Because obviously you are immensely fit and you always have been, like gas tank for days. What's your main regime? How far do you run? Spar per week, like general training. What we saying?
Road work will be at least between 20 to 25 miles within a 7 days period.
Okay.
Spawn at least, try to get leading up to a big fight. I want to get at least 30 rounds of boxing in.
Yeah.
To work on my timing and making sure that everything is on point. Eating, I pull back on some of the things. Yeah, I love to cook. As I get closer to the fight, I stop. Well, it's close now for me. So it's going to be pretty much just chicken and fish and vegetables. And then the last day of the fight, then I'll go back to the carb, put the carbs back in me.
Yep. I tell you who you might be able to lure into bare knuckle, because I don't think he's ever said no to a scrap. You might get your fight with Shane. Like, you should tweet him. Like Mosley, like how has he avoided that? That seems like he's
not gonna happen. Shane Mosley's a pretty boy.
I would have thought Shane would be all about that life.
Oh heck no! He wasn't about that life when he fought Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, that was a bad time. That was a bad time.
He was scared.
Yeah.
I was in camp with him.
Was you sparring partner for him?
Yeah, I was in camp.
Okay, fair. So let's go to the future, because I can already see 2 rounds, chop, done. Right? We're going for a title in BKFC, right?
Oh yeah, I'm going for the title next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big. By hook or by crook. I think we're going to be trying to get Dave on here for a chat. We'll try and line up some stuff.
Yeah.
And by basically agreeing to come on this podcast, we have power of attorney and management. Signature coming. Don't worry about that. We'll sort you out.
Don King style.
Yeah, Don King style. So, of the people that you've trained with and been camped with and been in the ring with, like, who would you say has been like the most influential to you? Which pro out there was you just like, I've learned just unbelievable amounts from you?
Two fighters. The first one, Pernell Whitaker.
Yep. Rest in peace.
Because that was in 1997 when I got a chance to go to camp.
Yep.
And work with him for the rematch of Wilfredo Rivera, the second fight. And then the second one would be Sugar Ray Leonard. He was my manager my first 4 years of my career.
Really?
Yeah. That was my manager. Then I was his sparring partner for the Hector Camacho fight.
Shit.
Wow. Do you still speak now?
So I had the best of both worlds. My manager
Yeah.
and a teacher teaching me, and I'm helping them prepare for a big fight.
That's incredible. What's Ray like?
Oh, amazing. Very knowledgeable. He think about everything before he speaks.
Huh.
And he let me know when you're in front of that camera, it's showtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about entertainment.
Exactly. You will always be remembered walking out with the Predator mask on and the epic shorts and the proper gear. Like, there's no way anyone could ever not remember when Chop Chop's on the main stage.
Yeah, for this bare knuckle fight, I got a pretty one coming out.
We look forward to seeing it. Okay. Streets, anything else, my friend?
No, sir.
That was power.
Thank you so much, champ. Thank you so much for your time. It's been unbelievable having you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime.
I'll do it again after the fight.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Follow up when you've got that first one. Boom.
Yep.
Chop. A pleasure. We'll speak to you in a couple of weeks.
You're the man, Chop. Thank you so much.